Hello everybody, my name is Jordan Arell. Welcome to another daily circumcision video. And today I want to talk a little bit about sort of self-reflecting on my own journey, my own experiences on a day-to-day basis. Because I think a lot of people don't really realize what kind of goes on behind the scenes in a lot of activists' life. And I think that's an important aspect of it to show what it really takes. So for example, I work as a rideshare driver when I am not making these videos, when I'm not doing healing or foraging stuff or other stuff. I work as a rideshare driver a lot of hours. I'm trying to pay off some of my school debt and my debt on my car and balance that with, I'm like officiating at my brother's wedding next week, and so it's like trying to balance all this stuff I'm trying to do at the same time. Have a slight semblance of a social life. Doesn't usually happen, but attempt to exercise and take care of myself. So there's all of this stuff that's going on, and it's really it's stressful, to be honest with you. It's stressful to try to balance it all. It's super worth it. Like, I care so much about this movement, and it's a big part of my personality. I think that's really important to say. It's people who are in this movement are people who really care about children, who care about changing the world for the better, and who believe it's possible, and with that great power of knowing and understanding the world and how it can be changed, there's also a great responsibility. And so, it's a struggle at the same time as being very rewarding. So it's a lot of work, and it's a lot of, I still have everything that a normal person has in their daily life, maybe a little bit less because I have to do so much of this stuff. And I'm happy to do this stuff, but it's I think that needs to be named, that it's a sacrifice in a way that we are making because we care, and I'm proud of that, very proud. And I think one of my main sort of things that I contribute to the movement is I really want to be a strategist. I want to think about strategy, understand how to be effective, whether that's running Facebook ads and trying to figure out how to do that effectively, because you can reach a huge number of people with a little bit of money, whether that's finding out effective protesting strategies, whether that's creating these videos or making a podcast or promoting American Circumcision, the film that's coming out about it, or any other number of the great materials like Sex and Circumcision, or other organizations or activists. I think all of those things are super important, and they're all little different pieces of strategy of understanding intact care and spreading the word about the natural male anatomy and how to take care of it. Another important thing, thinking about branding and marketing, and there's so many aspects of strategy that a lot of intactivists sometimes don't take the time to step back and sort of analyze it, read books on all these things, and try to develop that high level thinking. And I think that's a skill that I have is very natural to me. And so it's balancing that though with actually doing the work, creating these videos, going out and protesting, meeting people. And I think that balance is something I really try to also put on a high pedestal where it deserves to be, understanding that we need to think critically about how we're being activists, and we also need to do the activism. We need to get in there and see if it actually works, not just spend years kind of pontificating on our philosophical armchairs, but actually go there and try it out, see, does this work? Oh, no, need to tweak that, need to change that. And so I think that's really important, both having that strategy and then taking the action to put it into action. Also, one very specific piece of strategy that's super important to me is connecting with other intactivists. It's so important for so many reasons. It makes me feel good, makes me feel motivated, makes me feel empowered. It gives me a lot of great ideas. It also gives me cross exposure of getting those people to all support each other in this community of learning, of growth, of encouragement, so that we can all support each other in so many ways, whether that's through understanding, the arguments that we're trying to make and supporting each other, and really getting, just through these conversations of repeating them to each other, like getting a hold of that, before we try to go out and tell other people. Or as I said, whether that's cross-promoting and, saying, hey, look at this great, wonderful, amazing thing that I found this other activist is doing, you need to check it out. I think that's super important. And, also, of course, just connecting, because that's what humans do. That's what feels good. That's what motivates us and makes us, we're social creatures, and it's so, so important to not underestimate the power of having that connection and how that makes us just so much better and happier and able to do what we do. So that's something that's super important to me. Another thing is healing and self-development work. I think that there's different ways of doing that. Some activists say that the activism itself is their healing work, and I completely respect and appreciate that. That's at least a part of it for me. That's huge and important in, taking action, really, is what it is. Taking some kind of action really feels empowering and makes you able to feel like you have a sense of control, which is so important, as well as, of course, the fact that it has the double good of helping so many other people, but also, doing the healing work myself, doing daily exercises that I've created and that I've studied, and trauma healing helps me to be so much more emotionally stable and able to come from that strategic place, using the ideas that I have without getting super caught in emotion, because I've worked through a lot of those emotions. And that makes me able to also, as I said, live my life and be effective in the other parts of my life that I still have to deal with. And ultimately, I feel like healing transforms this darkness, this rageful, wrathful, painful energy, and helps us to turn that into connection so that we can reach out and really connect with people and say, hey, I have actually been really hurt by circumcision, and I want to tell you about it. And, here's some facts about it. Here's some things I think you should really know. And I think that connecting is, just being able to have those conversations with people one-on-one, or through media, or through whatever our channel is so important to really show this pain, but then also to be able to hear back what people are saying back to us, and be able to take in and receive, and then, have a communication, a dialogue, rather than kind of just the screaming at people that can feel better or feel easier, but isn't always the best for, some people really are open to this, and it's great to be able to dialogue with those people, even if they have some misconceptions, and may at first be a little bit skeptical or closed down. And so doing my own healing work, doing my own self-development, meditating, reading spiritual sort of texts, or following different teachers or coaches who have inspired me and helped me understand how I can communicate more effectively, be a better speaker, be a person that people like, that people want to connect to, that has a hold on my life, that kind of has his shit together, hopefully, to create that image that people can look up to and say, hey, this guy's legit, like maybe he has something important to say. So that's a piece of it too. And again, as well as, just making my life overall better. Like, I want to do a lot in my life, and I think we'll end circumcision probably in the next few years. And so after that, I want to go on and do a lot more great things and a lot more healing of the world. So that's another reason I think self-development is so important for me, and spirituality. Finally, one thing I do that I think is really important to mention is, besides the psychological healing work, I also want to do physical healing work. I restore, of course, every day, and that's super important. I almost regard that as part of the psychological healing, because it's so slow, the physical healing. My skin just grows absurdly slowly. But I'm really hoping that Foreskin in the next few years could regenerate it. It's absurd how easy it would be. It would just take a few $1 million to create the procedure. We have all the technology there. It's hopefully we'll do a podcast episode on that soon to explain more sort of in the details of it. But, if you follow Foregen, look more into their stuff, you can see kind of that we've regenerated all these other organs. It shouldn't be too crazy of a step to regenerate what's basically a piece of skin with some nerves. We already regenerate a lot of skin, and so and there's so much research into nerve regeneration. Anyways, that's so important to me, and because I really want to heal completely physically from this as well. And we can only do that if we really have a total cultural shift around this and really come to value the foreskin. And I think that can totally happen. I think that will happen very soon if we keep on giving this every single ounce of our energy and attention. And that's what I plan to do, because this has affected me so deeply. Ultimately, that's why I'm really here. There's a lot of different causes that I could give myself to that I think are all really important. People dying and being tortured all over the world, as well as animals and etc. A lot of good causes, but this one has affected me, and it's really tortured me. And so it's a journey of my own transformation, and hoping to bring that transformation to the wider movement and to all the men in the United States who have suffered this incredible injustice. It's really depressing sometimes. It's really painful and not always fun. But there's never a question in my mind of whether I'm going to keep on doing it, because I know I'm not going to be happy until this is fixed. So that's where I'm at. That's where I'm coming from. I'd love to hear some of your guys' stories. If you want to comment below, or hey, make your own video blog series. I would so love to inspire someone to do that. That would be like the coolest thing in the world. So do that. Create a podcast, create media, do something. What's your gift? What's your special talent? How does this integrate with your life? I think it's useful for us all to look at how we can be most effective, what our path is, what our story is, what we have to share about this, and to show that to the world, to show that to each other. Like I said, connect and really give each other love. That's what this is all about. It's about love. Peace, love, foreskin. So that's it for today, guys. Thanks so much for watching, and I will talk to y'all again tomorrow.